Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. What we got going on today, peeps? Oh, Hutch, what's going on, brother? In between, hey, Nikki, what's going on? Before we get cranking, we'll just kind of just kill some time. I know there's a few other people live. I think Alaska Prepper's still live right now, and a few others. So, probably won't be a whole lot of people in here at first, but we'll see what happens. So, what do you plan on canning this week, Nikki? Or have you decided what you're going to can this week? Or are you going to can this week? All those choices are yours. You had a good stream last night, Hutch. You went for what, a couple hours or so, yeah? It was a good stream, man. That was the first time I'd seen Lala up on a panel, man. She was killing it, dropping that knowledge. Hey, Jane, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. Trying to get all this stuff set up here. 1 second. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody do anything interesting today? Any kind of cool prepping stuff today? Or was it just a lazy day? Okay, yeah, got everything set up now. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have noticed it or not, but I switched the members only chat from the beginning of the stream to the end of the stream. So what I'll do is we'll chat for a while. We'll get across the topic and blah 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 for a while, and then towards the end of the stream, what I'll do is I'll go in and I will shut the chat down except for members only, and then I'll spend some time with just the members, doing a Q&A, answering questions, just kind of hanging out, whatever, just hanging out with the members for a while. So right now it's subs only in the chat. Everybody's good to go. But at the end of the stream, it'll just be for the members. That way, instead of thinking people are going to have like really cool questions at the beginning of the stream before I've actually done the stream, it's kind of hard to do. So you basically have to read my mind. So it just makes more sense to do it at the end. So that's what we'll do at the very end of the stream. What's up, Native? Billy Truth, what's going on? Pocahontas, Gemma, hello, Gemma. Tamara Reynolds, what's going on? Yeah, so we got looks like about 17 people in here. So I guess we can go ahead and kind of get started with the stream itself. The topic, I guess you want to say, is the supply chain and the upcoming dark winter that has been predicted by, well, pretty much everybody in this community, as well as even I believe PPAD's even accidentally said it in one of his press conferences. Coming up on a dark winter, and it's a really ironic term. I think it carries a lot of weight, and I think that we are in for some really strange days ahead. I, I don't think it's gonna. You know what? It's really hard to make a statement about it because there's like 15 different directions all this stuff's coming in, and it's kind of really confusing. Uh, I tell you what, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. Hutch, Native, anybody else, if you guys want to come on up and hang out and kind of bounce this whole supply chain collapse off of each other, you're more than welcome to. But I noticed that one of the headlines in the news, it was really, really early this morning or late last night when I saw it, and it said, the administration, whoever's in charge, was blaming the supply chain issues on the simple fact that people were buying too much stuff. All right, that makes sense in some fantasy world, I'm sure, but people buying too much stuff as an excuse for the supply chain slowing down has nothing to do with the boat sitting off the coast of California because that idiot governor They pass all these regulations and they won't let any trucks over a certain age, come into the ports to pick up loads. So if people wonder why these boats stuck out in the water, why can't we get them unloaded? We can't. We just have any trucks to put them on because that idiot administration in California won't let the trucks come in and get the stuff. You know, now granted, carbon monoxide emissions in the atmosphere in older vehicles, yes, that's a valid point. But you know what? People eating, it's kind of valid too. But when people just assume it's our fault because we're buying too much stuff. Well, for the last 2 years, we've been told to stay home and buy stuff online. So now you're saying the reason that the supply chain is failing is because the population did exactly what they were told to do. Number one. Number two, how are we buying too much stuff if there's not enough stuff on the shelves? And I've seen videos of the containers and out at port and Off the Wall Prepper did a really cool stream a few days ago, and it showed a video from, I think it was done back in 2018 with all the weapons and stuff, in the container ships, off to sea and all that. It was a really cool animation. But here's the thing, from a military standpoint, hey Tiger, what's going on? From a military standpoint, weapons, yes. Supplies, yes. People, no. Because I don't know if anybody here in the chat's ever unloaded an 18-wheeler in the middle of the summertime. In the back of that box, yeah, you're not putting people in there. No, it'd have to be air conditioned. You're going to have to be constantly supplying them with food and water and a way to, go to the bathroom. So, shipping fruits, across the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean in the back of a container on a ship is not a good way to die. Put it that way. Just ask. Look how many times we found, people being smuggled in these containers, and they were cooked alive, Yeah, so that's not having a million-man standing army off the coast of California hiding out in container ships for the last several weeks is not a doable option. There could be anything else in them, yeah, but nothing. No sentient life form is going to survive very long, locked up in the back of one of those metal containers in the sun. Yeah, ain't gonna work. But let's see if we get a few people in here. Let me do the hellos and get that out of the way, and then we'll chit chat from there. We got Hutch, Nikki's here, Gene, Gemma, Pocahontas, Billy, Native, Tamara Reynolds, Captain Plumber. What's going on? Native, Ohio Prepper. Hi everyone. She's got 15 half pints of cranberry sauce done today. Sweet deal. Tipsy Daisy, what's going on? T Long. What's going on, T Long? Monique, how are you today? Let's see what we got. CNN done a thing on go bags yesterday. Schedule is now officially moved up. Yeah, CNN. Leave it to CNN, I swear. Klingon Princess, what's going on? Tiger, Zombie, Huckleberry, Annie Oakley. That's everybody. Angela B, what's going on? That's a question for you, Native. Have you heard about the hereditary chiefs coming together to stand up with the document they found, so-called land contract from 17 something? I haven't heard anything about it. No, you're amazing, Gemma. Yeah, so the issue with the long cold winter in the supply chain. What's up off the wall? Issue with the supply chain and stuff. When I look at it, a lot of people look at it as just stuff gets from point A to point B and whatever happens, happens. When I look at a supply chain disruption, I think of it on a biological terms. I think of it like a trophic cascade. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's like a food chain, and you have different tiers. The primary consumers, tertiary, all the way up to the predators, and it's an ecosystem. It's its own little ecosystem. And if you change anything in that ecosystem, like say all of a sudden there's too many predators, well, it's gonna affect everything below it. But it also works from the bottom up. Say there's a really bad drought or forest fires or something, and there's nothing for the primary consumers, the grass eaters, to eat, well, then obviously that's going to is going to affect all the way up to the top to the predators. So when you're talking about a supply chain, it can be disrupted anywhere along that lines, and people are going to feel the effects of it for a long time, and the effects will be different. So we've got the milkmaid. What's going on, milkmaid? Flintstone girl, Donna, divine prepping. Hello, and G2. Hey G, what's going on? Militant roots. Yeah, so you've got all these different areas of the supply chain that can be uh, hurt or affected or changed, whether that be the actual supply of getting the goods, then you've got to transport it from point A to point B. Point B usually being a holding area, a holding warehouse. For say, let's use Walmart for instance. I mean, they have these massive, couple million square foot holding warehouses, placed all throughout the country that they bring in their inventory, and then it's shipped out to their individual stores from there. So you've got all these different areas where it can be affected and it can be hurt. But you've also got to take into consideration, a lot of the foods, the canned foods and stuff that are on the shelves in these holding warehouses. And somebody brought up a good point, and I've seen it myself. They brought it up yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, the day before. That usually when you get an item of a canned food, say canned meat or something, it'll have like an 18-month Best Buy date. You got like 18 months to eat this thing, at least a year to 18 months. But now they're going in stores buying the same product, and it's got like a 6 to 8 month, shelf life according to them, or when it's going to go bad. It's not that they've changed the regulations on it; it's that they're digging deeper into the supply that they have at these warehouses, and they're bringing this stuff out. So it's it it, it could. Let's see, what do you got, Monique? Monique says, Coach, you need to see the new Gravitas video about how Pfizer is blackmailing the world government. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I don't. I quit watching the news. I mean, I try to stay away from it. I don't take any of it to heart, but this thing with the cold, winter, it's coming. The dark winter, it's coming. And now it's not just a supply chain for food that I'm worried about. It's your heating oil, your propane and stuff. I mean, there's millions and millions of people in America that heat their home exclusively on heating oil. They don't have fireplaces. They live well north of the Mason-Dixon line. There's places in the country, Florida, southern Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. There's places like that where you can survive with legit no heat, no fire, nothing all winter. Just bundle up. It's not that big of a deal. But think back to this past year when there was a quote unquote hack of the fuel oil, the pipeline, how the pipeline was just shut down. I mean, apparently computers turn the knobs that make the juice go through it when you can go out there and just manually grab that big wheel and turn it. Yeah. So imagine that happening in, say, I don't know, December or January. Imagine that happening, in conjunction with a complete shutdown of food being delivered. Why couldn't it? Or a devastating slowdown, or maybe a government decree to where we're gonna go back on ration cards or ration stamps, and instead of the free enterprise where you can just go out and buy what you want, you're only allowed to get a certain amount of stuff, per household or per person in your household, and then you're only allowed to get a certain amount of stuff per person per household that's healthy enough to be allowed to get this stuff. Uh, combine all that with and then add in what happened with Texas with the power grid there last year. Now you've got the supply chain getting your food and your foodstuffs. You've got the pipeline that's heating, half the country in the wintertime, plus your fuel oil, for your vehicles, plus the diesel to get the stuff here, the food that you're ordering. And then all of a sudden, maybe your grid goes down again. You combine those three things together in the middle of the winter with the mentality of this country right now, people will lose it. It's gonna be something. Hey, special guest, I was just fixing to invite you up here too because you got experience with this whole supply line thing. What's going on?
Well, nothing. I've just been looking at the maritime. That's what I've been looking at.
Yeah,
I've been
that was
getting,
really cool.
I've been getting, and I've been getting reports from like all over the country. It's really strange, like what's going on. It's really strange, Ghost. But I will tell you this: if you go to the Granger website, Granger,
Yeah.
they not only supply water in large quantities to stores, but they also are involved in water treatment. Okay. But this is the big thing. I checked out the sources because I got 3 emails from different people, and one of them was very reliable. So I went to it, and then I checked out the Granger website, and no kidding, for the next 6 months, they are not selling water to grocery stores. 6 months. Plus, I was checking out what you were just talking about. That's why I came on here, about the propane. The propane is at the lowest levels it's ever been in the United States, ever.
Yeah.
And not only that, they're talking, and this came from economy, something I get involved in, but 50% increase on all of our electric and power bills. We got some serious things, and we were promised a dark winter. And I hope in the prepping community that we're not going to be involved in their dark winter, that we're more prepped than that.
I think
people need to,
Well, the way they're spinning the narrative now is like that statement I made at the beginning, where they came out and said that the reason why the supply chain is strained is because people are buying too much. Now, read into that. People are buying too much. It didn't say everybody was buying too much. People are. Well, what kind of people? Are black people buying too much? Are white people buying too much? No, that's a lead into a definition of the word hoarder. Then they can come after people classified as hoarders or preppers, or people that are buying more than their fair share. It's like, apparently you're not allowed to make sure your family can eat for a year. You can only make sure they can eat for 2 weeks at a time, and that math doesn't work for me.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. I guess I need to change my thing. It says bug soup on here still from your canning party. I just noticed that. I just noticed it. But no, I mean, the other thing that's very concerning is the wiggle wiggle. Now they're talking about, this just happened today. Good old Go Brandon. Let's Go Brandon came out with, now they're going after the kids by Thanksgiving, 5 to 11-year-olds.
It's it's a touchy situation.
It is.
I believe people have the right to choose any kind of medical treatment. I believe if you have cancer, I believe if you have kidney failure and you decide you don't want to have dialysis, you just want to die peacefully, I believe you have that right. I believe if you're dying
very much so.
I believe if you're dying of a terminal illness and you don't want to suffer for the next 6 months, I believe you have the right to say, I'm calling it quits. I believe you have that right. I believe you have the right.
And well, we're supposed to. We're supposed to, Ghost. We're supposed to. We are supposed to have that right.
It's ugly face in every aspect of society. It's like when I got divorced. It was all I could do. My attorney kept me quiet, but it was all I could do not to tell a judge, you know what, dude? I don't remember seeing you at my wedding. All right, you weren't at my wedding. I didn't swear an oath. I didn't swear an oath or a vow to you, this court, or anybody else. So who the fuck are you to tell me that the marriage is null and void? I don't recognize that. And that to me, that just shows that separation of church and state is a fucking fantasy. There is no such thing. There's nothing separated. I mean, how many preachers did they arrest when they did the lockdowns? How many of you people got to go to church when the country was locked down? What happened to separation of church and state? Nobody answered that question. It's horse shit.
Well, and I was just talking about that today. I was sitting out in the woods and I did a little video, and I was talking about that today, like how quickly in March it just, like, whoever the powers that be are, shut the whole world down.
Yeah.
The last time I looked, I was not in prison. I was not ever meant to be on lockdown. I was never meant to be excluded from things. I have not led that lifestyle.
Yeah,
but they did it to everyone.
Yeah, that was an exercise in manipulation and brain control. I mean, look at your daily life right now versus a slideshow picture of your daily life 24 months ago. It's not even the same.
Well,
You're on a freaking planet.
So many people are literally, if they are not trained, if they cannot pull themselves out of certain news media propaganda BS, they are in the biggest psych op terror tactics this country's ever seen.
Oh yeah, I mean, would you have ever believed that you would be alive during a time where there would be a sign on the door at the bank that said you have to wear a mask and cover yourself to come inside here?
No, I made a lot of jokes about that in March and April. When it happened, we were all the way in Amarillo. We were working out there. We were supposed to go to Colorado and manage a campground for KOA, and I seen it coming because as soon as that happened in March, we were kind of protected at the campground. It's like its own world. Different types of people, real down to earth. Actually, a lot of preppers from all over the world that we met, and all of a sudden we got this rush of Canadians. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? We were having like 35, 40 families in rigs pulling in at night for like 2 weeks straight. And I started talking to them and they said, we have to get back to Canada or they're dropping our medical. And I'm like, what the hell is going on in the world? And it just, look, we're going on 18 months. Yeah. 18 months. And the distractions are deep, like one time it's over here, then it's over there. I'm wondering, honestly, if the whole purpose behind this is to freeze out, turn off the power, limit the food in rural areas, to make people willingly go to cities because they're not having shortages.
Yeah, you're repeating something I said, I've said many, many times. Everybody wants to talk about boots on the ground and blue helmets and this and that and the other. Everybody, they say they're going to come knocking on your door for your guns. They're going to come knock to make sure you're healthy.
They're not going to have to.
There's too many doors and not enough knuckles to get that done. Number one, way too many doors, not enough knuckles. Food is the weapon. I don't care how many food and how many seeds you have. If you can't feed your 2 kids, and I've got cases upon cases of MREs and canvas tents set up in the Walmart parking lot, and here's where you come to get your rations. All it's going to cost you is your freedom seeds and your sticks, and you got to feed your kids. You're going to feed your kids. That's how. Yeah. That's how.
Well, I mean, but Ghost, you're ex-military too, and I mean, we think a little. We're geared a little differently because of the things that we've seen in the military. Just for example, my mother, she was like, I went in at 17, I joined, and I went in when I was actually 18. And my mother was like, go get all your shots, that way you're good, But the first week they're like, line up. And I'm like, where we go? They're going, everybody's going to meds, And I'm like, I don't need no damn meds. What am I going to medical for? They lined us up, 5 on each side, and said we had to do it. No choice. And I'm sure you remember that.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure you do too. I was in the 80s, but since then I was like, no, I got every one of those that was on that dang list for certain reasons, and
multiple times. Every time I got deployed, I got them again. And I think that's a good point, and I've said that before. If you want to control a huge population of people, you don't need
want them in a condensed area.
For cities, that's where you're going to see boots on the. That's where you're going to see blue helmets. You're not going to see them out here in the woods. They don't care about us, and I mean, they care about us, but you control society if you control a massive part of the population. If you get the most, if you can get 60% or even 70% of the population under your control, playing your brain games and this and that and the other, turning V'd against non-V'd, turning black against white, tall against short. It's easy. That's how you destabilize countries. Okay, that's military doctrine. All you do is just show up in the middle of the night and start shit with as many people as you possibly can for the stupidest, vaguest reasons possible, and you just destabilize it from the inside. because if there's no consensus on how people are supposed to act, or how you conduct yourself as human beings, and everybody's offended. Look, I don't get offended. I'm the offender. I'm the offender, not the offendee. That's just the way it is.
Right.
You know, you're coming up with all these reasons to make people offended and feel different or feel weird. And you have to go back, and now you're going back and you're changing history. I mean, you're literally changing history. Like, the only slaves ever on the planet were from Africa, and they were slaves here in America. That's the only place it happened. We don't cover the simple fact that every single race of people on the planet was a slave, or maybe still is a slave to another race of people right now, and all throughout history.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm
walking a fine line again tonight at 7:30 when I do my live.
Oh, it's
I
almost
found something that it's 6:30 here.
Oh, that's right.
I'm on Central. I'm on Central time. So I'm doing the live at 7:30. We do it every Wednesday. I was doing it at 7, but when you started doing yours, I pushed mine back a half hour so that, I think what you're doing is important. I think that, you're getting a lot of different channels out there and what's going on. And I think that's important as a community. So
cool. I appreciate it. Hopefully after the first week or so, it'll gain some traction, and I want to do a spotlight. And anybody that's watching, if you're new to YouTube, and because I know how hard it was for me when I started out. Not all of us were as lucky as Off the Wall here. I mean, he started a channel 28 days later, he's got like 10,000, subscribers, which is nuts.
Come on now. I wish I was already at 10,000. I'm getting close. I'm like,
it'll be there by Sunday.
8,500 or something, but it like really blew up really quick. Yeah, it blew up really quick.
Yeah, it'll be there by Sunday. I thought I was doing good, so I saw your numbers. I'm like, holy cow, man, that's amazing. But what I want to do is, like, if you're a brand new channel and like you legit have like 1 or 2 videos and you're trying to get started, reach out to me, send me an email. I'd love to have you up here. I'm gonna give you the platform to state who you are, where you are if you want to, what your background is, what your channel's about, what your mission statement is, the whole 9 yards. I'll post if you're going live, I'll post your live times, the whole 9 yards, and try to give you a push and help you get started, like other people did for me when I first got started.
And you did it for me. The first time you had me on your live, I had 82. You were there at the very beginning. I had 82 members, and I was like, man, I hope I make it to 100. And then it just like blew up, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, we hit the 100 that night, didn't we? Yeah,
we did.
We did. Yeah, you just exploded.
We did.
Well, that one video you did that went viral. That it always helps to have a short video that gets like 100,000 views.
Yeah, I've had like 4 now in anywhere from the 40,000 range to 100,000 range. The other thing though, tonight, what you just said, I'm taking my channel a little different direction. So tonight we are actually having I'm doing kind of the similar thing to you, but I'm gearing it more toward the homesteading. I'm trying to bring some homesteaders into my channel. So we're going to be featuring 10 different homesteaders tonight, which will be cool. But at the beginning of my live, I'm going to be walking we'll see how fine the line is. But you can't always Dragonfly's like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, you know what? It's how I feel. And it's about the message. Anybody that thinks small channels are about the money got it really wrong. It's not about the money. And I'm one of those people that when I really see something, I'm like, man, I can't keep this in. I can't just sit here and know and not share it on my channel. I just can't. So tonight I'm gonna walk a fine line, do a couple things, but at the very beginning, if you can come over tonight, Ghost, in an hour, come over, because you're gonna be like, I mean, it's so true and on point, and it's like 4 minutes long, but it's so on point. Hi, Gemma.
You're going live.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hey, Jim.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I just got back a little while ago from watching a live comedian. Me and my dad went out to the local theatre to watch a comedian, so that was fun.
Hey, Sean, what's going on, North Shore? If I have any mods in the chat, which I'm sure I do, hopefully.
Yeah, you do.
You guys want to start slinging links, knock yourself out? Yeah, I don't mind that at all. you got a channel and you want somebody to sling it, just ask a mod and they'll sling it. It's all good.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, you're going live at what time?
In an hour, 7:30. It's 7:30 Central Time.
So you'll be going live at 8. All right, cool. I have about 20 minutes I can hang because I'm on Natives panel at 9 my time.
Okay.
Which will be
yeah.
So,
well, I'm gonna jump off here, Ghost. I'll mod for a while, but I need to go eat some dinner, and but I hope you can make it over for at least the beginning. Try to come in about 7:30 if you can.
I'll pop over. I'll pop to come see you. I'll pop over.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll definitely.
Okay, awesome. But I'll mod for a while and drop some links for people and some other channels and stuff. And Ghost, I think you're doing a good job, man. And I like I've told you before, I really appreciate you were there from the beginning, and like you just accepted me right into the community and like helped me get to the 100, and and now we're at 8,500, and I can't believe it in 28 days. I mean, it's just like
you did a hell of a job. You did it. Well, you got good content, brother. I mean, people like watching good content, so
Well, and I'm gonna keep bringing it. I mean, like some days I'm just sitting there writing down. I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to do a video on this. Like I'm doing a lot of videos out in the forest because people need to realize, it's a whole different world in the forest. It really is. And I did a video yesterday. It was really, I got to tell you this, and I'm going to jump off. So we, as a channel, decided that we were going to do a birthday shout out. Just a little fun thing. Once a month on my live, I'm going to go through all the names of the birthdays that month. So we post on the community page, and I started getting these nasty comments and emails from the same person, right? You got to be a Fed. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I did a video yesterday. It was hilarious that we've all been hacked, and I got a lot of comments about it, but it's the truth. People don't realize we were like a frog, and we jumped in the pot and we sat there and boiled for a while, and then we jumped in another one, and it continues to happen. The minute cell phones went smart, went from a regular just flip phone to a smartphone to the computer, and us all looking in the black screen. Anybody that thinks that your information isn't out there, from your name, your social security number, where you live, all of it is crazy. So this guy, he just would not stop. And I just kept, I wanted to laugh at him, but I was trying to get the point across. You've already been hacked, dude. What is putting your birth date? I didn't ask for your social, your birth date, your year. All it was is put your month that you were born. Because when, if you're born in January, October, whatever, we're going to do this little birthday fun thing, and this guy took it way out there. I'm like,
no, it was my birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Thank you, Sherry Lee.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I think I was on a live with you, Gemma. I think it was at the canning party, and you said it was your birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry Lee. I appreciate you too very much. Thank you so much.
Oh, Lordy, I hope Sherry Leach comes over tonight because I got something special for her. But it's no bugs, Sherry. It's not a bug. It's not grasshoppers or nothing.
Well, I hope to keep it that way. I hope to keep it that way, Prep and Plumber. I try my best to weed through the bullshit and stay away from the drama, And here's the thing, it's a 50-50 split. I offend a lot of people sometimes, but in defense of my offense, I have that right. I have the right to believe what I want to believe, how I want to believe it, and so do you. If you still want to hear me talk, fine. If you don't, kick rocks. It's all good. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to be me just like I expect everybody else out there to be you. And I've had some really good arguments and some really good debates with people. And, there are people, we have absolutely nothing in common in beliefs, but we get along just fine on the tube because we respect each other. And that's what it's all about. Everybody gets an opinion. Hey, Prep and Plumber, thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, that's why I laughed. You were there when I was talking about the club and all that stuff, and somebody came on there and said something, and I said, well, why don't you can leave the channel. You can leave. I mean, all you got to do is push exit. But I basically told him to go back to his marshmallow puff land, and I guess I started something by saying that to him.
You came on board. I think you missed both of the times I broke the internet when I get crossed. I mean, I'm a very, very.
Oh no, I was on one of them, Ghost.
Yeah. Man, I'll come at you. I don't give up.
With the
And
gray situation.
yeah,
I was on that one, and I was like,
it's water under
there's
the
some
bridge. You know, it's water under the bridge. It's over. People make mistakes. When you make mistakes, you need to get called out. If you want to apologize and move forward, that's fine. If you don't want to apologize and move forward, that's fine too. It's no skin off my back. But
right.
I'm not the one. I mean, if you're gonna do something stupid like that, and you think I'm not gonna say something about it, you seriously barking up the wrong tree, because I'm coming at you.
Well, there's just no what happened with that situation was just downright dirty. It just was. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we were like unsub because that's dirty, man.
I'm still subbed, and I still watch his stuff because some of his stuff is really, really good. And I have no hard feelings. I mean, it's over. It's done with. Look, I've made mistakes in my life. I've done some dumb shit I feel bad for. You know, and so I'm not elevating myself above anybody else. But when you step on my foot, I'm gonna let you know you're stepping on my damn foot. You know, it is what it is.
Right.
I don't hate you. You know, it's over. It's done. I wish you nothing but the best. But, you know, and I've been that way ever since day one when I got on YouTube. You know, I don't have a huge following, but most of the people know that if you come sideways, you're gonna get corrected. It is what it is. I mean, it's like the other night when I did native stream with the scenarios, and they're like, "Oh my God, you taking up, bro? I didn't make up the scenario. I'm just telling you what I'm gonna do if that's what happens. If it's mean, it's mean. But you know, we're talking about war without rule of law, and they're out there trying to hunt me. It's getting. I'm going for the throat.
It's gonna get dirty. It's gonna get dirty. Well, Ghost, I'm gonna jump off here. Hope to see y'all tonight, Gemma. If you can stop by, that'd be great. Y'all have a good. Yeah, nice to see you too. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you later, Ghost. See you later, Gemma.
Bye. Take care.
Thanks, brother.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, G2. You're a sweetheart. Yeah, I'm very respectful until, I mean, you know, and I might not even always be right. And I sure don't want to come across as sounding like a bully or whatever, but
no, this is the thing that people need to know about you. Like, Ghost is not a bully. Like he's rightly said, by the end of the day, if you step on his toes and he feels that you are stepping on his toes, he's going to say something. It's similar to me. If I feel that you're getting on my toes, or I feel you're getting agitating to the point where I feel that you're really undermining me or something, yes, I'll call it out and I will snap and be bitchy. But most of the time, no, I don't, because I don't need to. And it's all about respect. Like Ghost has said, you respect the person. You may not always agree or even get along on some things, but you get along with people out of respect, because we're all adults by the end of the day.
Number one rule in SHTF: not try to deer hunt ghosts. Just say, yeah, this deer bites back.
So we're all adults by the end of the day.
Oh yeah. Hey, Lake's up in the house. What's going on, sweetie?
It's like me and Ghost have a lot in common. Like we have a lot to do with mental health and disabilities, and that's one thing that I respect Ghost for, because as soon as he let me know that he understood what I'm about and he respects me for what I do, and I was like, cool, okay, we have a common ground. And ever since then, me and Ghost have gotten our house on fire. I really enjoy being around Ghost. He's a very, very gentle, humble person, and he's always accepted me. And to me, I struggle with friends, so for Ghost to accept me as well as he has done, and other people in his community, I feel safe here. I feel I can be myself.
Yeah, everybody loves you, Gemma.
I'm just little me. I try and learn as best I can, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to touch on the supply chain thing a little bit more, and then I'm going to switch the chat over to members only and spend some time with the members.
Yeah,
guys,
I'm a member, so.
If you guys are not members, you're still more than welcome to hang out and just listen along. You just won't be able to interact with the chat. That's all. But so yeah, to touch on this supply chain thing one more time. Hey, Ghost. I mean, hey, Teresa, how you doing? You know, the supply chain is strained right now, and our brains have been programmed to walk into a store and see a few things on the shelf and go, oh,
yeah,
they got plenty of stuff. But remember how it was 2 years ago when plenty of stuff meant they had stuff everywhere, you know. And I've seen, you know, people worried about the containers behind the Walmarts and stuff. And I don't know about your areas, but my area and my Walmarts at this time of the year, they always have those containers back there. They're usually full of bicycles and small appliances and
yeah. I've seen a lot of things go down recently.
Stuff and the Christmas stuff. So I wouldn't freak out too much about that. Now, if you start seeing massive generators being moved in and things like that, yeah, I would kind of like, yeah,
There's like a lot of things over here recently have gone really bizarre. Like I went to the store the first time in months, a couple of days ago, just to have a look around, and I was so shocked at people's attitudes and the way people were just being complete selfish, ignorant of people, and people, like you said earlier, people were just buying stuff they didn't even need. Like I saw this one girl who was probably similar age to me, and she was buying like 5, 6 of the same thing. I'm thinking, do you really need all them? Like there's people like me who can't carry very much or can only get a certain amount of shopping, and you just took some of what I need. It's just really selfish.
Yeah. Thank you, Lake. I appreciate that so much. Welcome to the club. And then the thing is, when all this stuff hit, a year and a half ago, and everybody was panic buying, I wasn't panic buying. I was still buying the normal stuff that I usually get.
Yeah.
I wasn't going there going crazy. Why? Because I already have stuff, And
Yeah.
even when the canning jars started coming back onto the shelves, I'd get lucky and I'd go in there and I'd see 6 cases of jars. I didn't get 6 cases of jars. I would get like one or two. I would get one or two and leave some for other people. And I've seen people in there at the same time. I saw a lady. There was exactly 6 cases of wide mouth jars. I'm standing there behind her and she takes all 6 and then looks at me like I'm in her way. And to me that's kind of rude. And she was actually on the phone calling one of her friends to see if they needed some jars because she got 6 cases and she was going to sell them to her. And I'm like,
that's ridiculous.
But I was prepared and I already had stuff. So the whole panic buying thing, even the toilet paper, I had plenty of that. And I even had a guy in line. I was in line and the guy had we were at Walmart and his cart was absolutely full. I can't remember. It was either 7 or 8 cases of toilet paper he had in this shopping cart. And I looked at him and I'm like, bro, that's like toilet paper for like 2 years. He goes, yeah, man. I said, do you have enough food for 2 years? And he goes, what? I'm like, well, if you don't have enough food for 2 years, having toilet paper for 2 years, you're kind of defeating the purpose, aren't you? Because you're not going to need it.
No.
If you're not putting something in, nothing's coming out. So why would you freaking out over toilet paper? I mean, if you ain't got 2/3 of the world doesn't even use toilet paper when they go to the bathroom. People, 2/3 of the world have never even seen toilet paper. Go to the Middle East. They don't use toilet paper.
Wow,
I mean,
that's amazing.
that's why in the Middle East and say Iraq, for instance, your left hand is considered somewhat unclean because you use your left hand to wipe yourself, and then you have a water bottle, and then you wash your hands immediately afterwards. Okay, that's why there is no theft in Iraq. I mean, you can go into Iraq and you can leave your wallet sitting on the counter of a convenience store and come back a month later and it's got dust on it. The guy that owns the store won't even touch it or move it because if you're convicted or accused and convicted of stealing, they chop off your hand. But guess what? They chop off your right hand, not your left hand. So the only hand you have left to eat with is the same hand that you wipe your butt with.
Yeah.
That's the way they work it over there. So doing without toilet paper not a big deal. If you're out of toilet paper and things are rough, look, and you got to go bathroom, take a crap, take a shower, go on about your day.
Yeah, pretty much.
You can deal with it, But yeah, as far as panic buying up all the toilet paper, that's just crazy.
It's like over here, like I know you know about, like we've had really bad fuel problems over here, and people now they know there's fuel starting to come back into the local garages. Like people are like camping out at petrol stations overnight, waiting for the delivery lorries to turn up early hours in the morning. As soon as they see that lorry, boom, they're straight out waiting to get there. It's like, really grow the hell up, people. Get what you need and make it last.
And for you Americans in the chat, a lorry is a truck.
Yeah, lorry's a truck. Sorry. Yeah, I shouldn't let people know. Yeah, so they will camp outside a what you guys call a gasoline garage and what we call a petrol garage, and they will camp out and wait for the delivery lorry truck to turn up to get their fuels for their cars. It's ridiculous. It's really stupid. It's like the garage down the road from mine. There's people camping there right now. I was on the way back in the taxi just now. Me and my dad were sitting in the taxi just laughing. We were like, are they for real? Like, there was just tent after tent after tent. People, I'm like, it's raining, it's thundering, it's cold. What the hell are these people doing?
Exactly.
It's just stupid. It's like, no, I wouldn't camp outside just to wait for fuel. You stupid. I'm like, get what you need, make it last, be sensible. Stop picking it for everybody else. Like, you have a certain limit. Take what you need and make it last. Be sensible. Don't drive around the roads unless you really have to. It's
Right.
just common sense.
Well, people just get paranoid. I mean, look at the society that we're growing up in right now, or that the kids have grown up in. It's the me participation trophy. Everybody's equal. You got more than me, so you got to share generation. It's not to go out and get it. It's not to go out and get it. It's not to exert yourself and make a life for yourself. It's to sit there with your hands held out and get what you think you're entitled to.
No, exactly.
If you don't like your life, then if you don't like the way, I mean, legitimately the way this society is messed up right or is thinking right now, and this is nothing towards sexuality whatsoever. I don't care. I do not care what you do with your life or your sexuality, but there are legitimately people that say you're a skinny little boy and you're getting beat up on the playground at school or whatever. You can legitimately say, well, I'm tired of getting beat up, so I'm just going to switch over and be a girl where it's bad if people hit me. So you're changing your sexuality. You're not changing your gender because you can't. I mean, your gender's a made up construct. That's why it's funny. People say they're having a gender reveal party for their baby. You're not revealing the gender. You're revealing the sex.
It's different. Yeah.
Well, that's not gender.
No, it's not.
Gender is how you perceive yourself in society, how you function.
Yeah, gender is you have male or female. That's all it is. That's all there is.
It's how you want to be perceived and how you want to be seen in society. It has nothing to do with sex.
What new member in the chat? What? The new member Ghost. Yay.
Monique, welcome, Monique. Rip Curl.
Welcome to the new members. You won't regret it.
See, we got Prepper Tribe up in here. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Prepper Tribe. How are you? Rip Curl's in the house. Whoop whoop. Hey, Rip Curl. How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, all the mods, if you got channel links, you want to drop them. Sling all them links. That does not bother me a bit.
If there's anyone new in this chat right now, guys, please give my brother Ghost a subscribe, because he's just a generally awesome guy, friendly guy, really knows what he's on about. He deserves a hell of a lot more support. You really need to be listening to him. You really do.
What up, brother? Pretty sure I'll see you later tonight over at Natives. And for you guys on here, it's about 10 till 8 right now. At 9 o'clock Eastern, Native and Devout's going live. Should be a good show. So you guys definitely check that out.
Good to see you, Prepper Tribe. I'm feeling really good because I'm on Ghost's panel. I've been out today. I've enjoyed myself, and now I'm enjoying myself on YouTube. So
yeah, I was your fourth sub. Yep, sure was. Night for that.
Nice.
Number four. Hey, Kentucky, what's going on?
Hello, Kentucky Prepper. Kicking at Homestead. Hello, Mark.
Yeah, so for people that think there isn't a supply chain issue, wake up. I mean,
wake up. Yeah, there's a big problem.
There's a serious when mainstream media is putting it out that there's a supply chain issue. Yeah, I mean, because they never tell the truth. So when they're putting truth out that we already, I mean, this is stuff that the Ice Age farmers been talking about for 2 years now. This is stuff that we've all been talking about for 2 years now, and the mainstream media says it's crap, it's bullshit, it'll never happen. Now mainstream media is putting out big time stories about the supply chain issues and the shortages, possible dark winter. So now they're prepping their narrative, so they can say they put the word out there. And so when there are rations put in place and there are food lines put in place and people are freezing this winter, the mainstream media can be a part of it. I mean, they ran out of stuff to talk about when Donald Trump left office. I mean, so they're, it is what it is. You can only talk about being healthy, unhealthy, for so long, and then you got to find.
So the supply chain problem is getting worse, because it's like the other day, a lot of people know that I can't go really to the stores that often because I can't do it because of my anxiety and issues like that. But the other day I did a home delivery for the first time in about a month and a bit. I ordered one and they were 2 hours late getting it to me. And the reason was because some of the products that I'd ordered either ran out or people have been so greedy they had to get me another item from another store to transfer it to give it to me. And it took over 2 hours for them to get the transferred item. It's just people are being so stupid. You really need to wake up, guys. This issue is not going to go away. It's not. It's
And,
causing long-term problems.
And everybody in the chat, I just pumped Native and Devout. I forgot that his stream tonight is a members only stream. So if you are a member, cool, you can watch it. If you're not, I apologize.
Thank you, Susie. I had a great birthday. Thank you.
Become a member real quick and then be able to watch his stream. That's cool too. His members only streams are off the chain. They're really, really good.
They are. Ghosts only members streams are really cool. I've been there for the last, I think, 2 or 3 of them that he's done, and they are really fun.
Containers behind my wall bar. The shelves are empty. Wow, Salty Peanut. Yeah, I mean, at this time of the year, I usually always see multiple containers behind the Walmarts. Like I said before, usually it's full of the Halloween stuff and it's full of the Christmas stuff. I think basically what they do is they take a bunch of the stuff off the shelves that they're going to use for the Halloween stuff. They store it outside. They bring the Halloween stuff inside and they switch it out when Halloween's over. Then they do the same thing for Christmas. But I've also noticed, I've seen them open several times, leaving the parking lot. And usually there's one of them that's like just full of nothing but bikes, just bicycles.
Yeah.
And then you have one full of like your small appliances that they sell a lot of at Christmas, coffee makers and things like that. But as far as people being in them, because they're going to die. Those things are very, very and, there's no telling what's in them. Totally. It's not people unless you see a massive AC unit hooked up to it and somebody coming to deliver food 3 times a day. There's not people in it.
Yeah.
But I think what we're going to do now, we've been going for about an hour. I think what I'm going to do now is go ahead and switch the chat over to members only and just spend some time with my members if you guys do not mind. Like I said before, if you want to join and be a member, great. If you don't, cool. I completely understand. You can still listen.
I'm a member. I've been a member for like, what, 3 months now?
You can still listen and watch. You're not going to be able, since the beginning. You can still listen and watch for all you subs that aren't members. You're just not going to be able to interact with the chat. I apologize. I hope it's not an inconvenience, but it's just my way of spending some special time with the members and doing a little Q&A and hanging out. And that's something I've been trying to do with all my streams. I'm going to keep pushing forward to it because the members seem to like it. Plus the subs that aren't members, they still get to participate as far as hearing it and seeing what's going on. So there's not it's not like I'm putting out content and saying you guys can't watch the content. You know what I mean? It's just some members only time that I like to spend with the members after the stream. So I'm fixing to head over here to, if I can find it, and switch that thing over.
Susie, I haven't gone to the Downton Abbey Castle yet, but I am going there in January. Me and my dad booked that up earlier. I went to Windsor Castle last weekend for my birthday, which was absolutely fantastic. Very, very lovely place, and I've got a lot of good memories for it. So, but Downton Abbey will be January. So that'll be another place I get to go.
So this last week you went to Windsor Castle, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one that.
That was amazing. Look, I've got pictures on my phone. Oh my gosh, that place is amazing. It's got some really, really good. There's this one room that I went in with I think it's to do with the American independence. And they had all American flags and military stuff. And I thought of you, and I took the pictures. I was like, Ghost is going to love this. And I was like snapping photos on my phone. And I found this American cannon outside. And I was like, I have to pose for this. There's me like my arm on top of a cannon, like hugging it, trying to get a picture so I could take a picture of an American cannon because I haven't seen one. Monique, yes, I have been to the Tower of London. I'm actually going back there on just after Christmas because they've got a Christmas walk going on, which me and my uncle are going to go, and they've actually got a autism awareness walk going on for New Year's, so we're going to go down there and do the autism walk. So that's going to be fun.
Cool. Yeah, so, Appalachian. I switched it up. I'm going live 6 days a week now. I'm doing Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. until whenever, and then I still do the Saturday night canning stream live. So I'm going 6 days a week until I get wore out, and then I may take some time off, or I may just scale it back and do Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7. But for right now, it's Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. and then Saturday night at 8. Hi, Dakota. So what's going on, members? How's life treating us?
Whoop whoop. Awesome.
So any of you guys out there got any legit supply chain issues or any like legit issues that you're seeing, or do you have any like any supply chain type questions that maybe I'll be able to dive into? Yeah,
Like
I
I
gotta
said, if
tell
there's
you.
any UK questions, I can try and answer
Yeah,
them.
that's a good point. You know, since you're over there, yeah, guys, yeah, Rip, I gotta tell everybody, man, the canning strings. I love the canning strings. That's like my favorite thing is the canning strings. They're so much fun. We have a blast.
Your cannon streams are a lot of fun.
They are fun. They're really cool. We got some new people canning with us this week too, I believe. Yeah, because I know the supply chain issues. I mean, it's world news that the stuff, the issues you guys are going through in the UK right now with the petrol
Yeah,
shortage.
the UK is going extremely backwards. Like, for example, we had an announcement made tonight, yesterday night, and they were saying that um, things are going to get worse with shortages and that the most affected groups will be the vulnerable and the elderly. And I'm like, this is what you said a year ago, and now you're saying it's going to get worse. The amount of people now who will struggle this time getting food or even struggle to get out to get anything is the people like me who are disabled, who can't get out or who need help to do something. And it's going to start playing a lot of people's health issues worse. And it's just like, why are people being so silly? It's like, stick to what you've got, be good, don't be rude, and just be civil. Like, by the end of the day, you don't need to be so greedy. Everyone's going to get their food. Everyone's going to get somehow what they need. It's just, as soon as everyone says, "Oh, food shortage," boom, everyone runs like crazy because they feel they're not going to get anything. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Oh, Teresa says my husband drives from Florida to Texas 3 times a week to Walmart with food. Is he a truck driver? I'm assuming.
Oh wow, that's really cool. We do have truck drivers here, but again, that's another thing that's becoming a shortage. A lot of truck drivers are getting so ill or mentally stressed out with the demand and workload that we're having a lot of truck drivers, lorry drivers, as we call them, they're quitting because their mental health's taking a complete dive. So
Yeah.
we've lost a lot of our drivers.
Sherry says, Ghost, the only thing
Sucks.
up here is the quality of produce. Yeah, I've noticed that too. And I mean, it hasn't really affected me that much because I get most of my produce off the side of the road. There's a lady that sets up a fruit and vegetable stand here that Native and I both frequent her. And it's a little more expensive than the stores, but the quality of the food is worth it. I mean, it's awesome, awesome, awesome veggies. Now we're coming into the winter, so it's going to be obviously a little bit different. But I'm going to get my winter garden, kicked into high gear as fast as possible, and hopefully I can offset a little bit of that. What I did is I saved a couple of uh, uh, whatchamacallits for my tomato plants that are full, they're growing right now. I broke off some the limbs that grow, and I've got them seeded. I've got them rooting in some pot soil right now. So technically, that's a mature plant because it's a
Yeah.
clone. So it should start producing pretty quick. So hopefully it does.
It's like people realise here as well, it's that people are getting so ridiculous. Like today, well, yesterday when I went to the theatre and me and my dad had a drink and something to eat, like the prices of the drinks alone, like my dad to have a classic stout beer, and for me just to have a normal Pepsi, for both of us to have just our drinks alone was £12.50. We never used to pay that much for a drink. Like £12.50 for 2 drinks is a complete rip off. Like, I would never pay that.
Yeah, that's
It's,
crazy.
and then the woman said, "Oh, my dad said, was it so expensive?" And she says, "You can blame the government and the food shortages for this. Everything's gone up." And we're like, "Are you having a laugh? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's ridiculous. Everything's just been overpriced."
The thing that I would suggest for people to do, like with the supply chain right now, all right, I look at things a little bit weird because all right, so now they come out and say we have supply chain issues. Well, what's transpired in the last 2 weeks? Well, number one, they said we have supply chain issues. Number two, Augustin Farms shuts down for 90 days. Very, very suspicious. And now there's a recall on canned meats. Well, what are the first things that you would get if you were trying to prep long term for survival? Canned meats
Canned
and
meats.
fried stuff from Augustin Farms. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying, people, read between the lines, people. They just took the canned meat off the shelf, you know, and basically one of the best and one of the biggest uh, freeze dried food long term supply companies, especially in the prepping community, is shut down for 90 days. Yeah. That
Yeah.
horse, that dog don't hunt. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's like the UK is not much better than the US, to be fair. It's kind of, we've started going really backwards on some things, and it's just like, really? I thought we'd got better than this, and also it's just like, everything's just
584 a
gone
gallon.
down.
That's 584 a gallon. That's crazy. And Monique, correct me if I'm wrong. You're in Canada, correct?
Our petrol's really expensive. I can't remember how high ours was, but I know my dad filled his car earlier, and he spent like just under £200 to fill his car, which will last him about a week till he has to refill it again. It's ridiculous. It's getting so expensive here. Good night, Zombie Pepper.
Poor Patriots also shut down to fill government orders too, put customers on a long way. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You know, the Patriot Act and all the crazy powers that the government has now, all it takes is a signature on the right piece of paper, and the government takes over all food production, all food supplies, take over all transportation, including the airlines. They take over all communication, including all your news networks and the internet.
Yep.
They take over all of it. Just all you got to do is sign a name on that right piece of paper, and the Military Powers Act, whatever it's called. But yeah, so to say, you know, and obviously, if the government or whoever's in charge knows something's coming up and they want to prep for long term to make it through the dark winter, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to seize assets. They're going to seize assets like the entire warehouse at Augustin Farms. You know, maybe for Patriot Supply stuff, maybe do a whatever recall on canned meat. You know, all of a sudden, apparently, the people that work at the canned meat companies forgot how to do their job. You know, they forgot how to do their job and just mass contaminated all this meat. You know, so it's, yeah, I'm not, yeah. Monique is in Canada, and it's $1.46 a liter. And for those of you that don't know, this is a conversion factor with liters to gallons. It's like 3.78 liters in a gallon. So it's almost 4 liters for an American gallon.
Wow, that's a lot.
I believe that's the conversion rate, 3.78 liters in a gallon, somewhere around there. Yes,
I do say, yeah.
Sherry Leach says it's 154.9 in Northwest Ontario. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mark ordered 2 cases of ball wide mouth pint jars from Walmart. They arrive tomorrow. Awesome. I've been getting lucky, and I've been every couple of weeks I'll go in there and there'll be a couple of cases and I'll snag them up. You know, so I've been getting really lucky on that.
Nice.
Yeah, at first it was, you know, you couldn't find the lids. Now I got lucky and found I went in there one day and they had like 10 cases of wide mouth lids, so I just got a whole case.
Yeah.
But I already had some put back anyway, so.
Nice. G2 says.
Awesome, Mark. That's awesome. I didn't even know that you could actually order them through Walmart. I guess I did. I just never thought of doing that. I guess it makes sense. You can just like pre-order them up, so you ain't got to fight the crowd. I may do that next time.
Yeah, I order a lot of my things online because it's a lot easier than me having to go into a store and get panicky and yeah.
Walmart quit carrying the canning supplies for the season, but they let him order online. Okay, that makes sense. And see here, I mean, my Walmart here's got like a huge canning. I mean, it's literally their canning section is 4 or 5 shelves high, and it's probably 30 feet long. No, it's probably more than that. The entire aisle is canning. So it's canning and freeze drying stuff, not freeze dry, canning and dehydrators, canners, and they also have the food savers and the bags and all that on one aisle, but it takes up the entire aisle.
Yeah.
Wow, Teresa, gas in Jersey is $3.55 a gallon. Here it's right at
Yelch.
$3. Right at $3 here.
Ouch. That's
Yeah,
expensive.
yeah, especially considering 2 years ago it was barely $1.
Ouch. I'm trying to think what UK prices are.
I know they're saying that it's gonna get really expensive in the UK this year.
Yeah, a lot of things over here have got really expensive. I'm just like, great, this is going to be more of a rip-off.
Well, I was reading an article today here in the States. They said that the average cost of heating your home in the wintertime is supposed to go up between $30 and $50 a month per household. Which if they say between
Yeah,
30 and 50 is probably going to be somewhere between 80 and 100.
yeah, they're saying over here, like for me, my heating's going to go up. They say roughly by about £30 to £40 a month. I'm thinking I can just about afford it now. Like I'm already paying like nearly 50 quid a month for my heating. I was like, I don't want to pay even more. It's ridiculous. That's why I just layer up. I don't bother putting it on. I usually just put a thick jumper and a blanket on.
During the lockdown in Canada, they could not go anywhere, and petrol was 75 cents a liter.
Wow.
Now you got to remember that's still almost $3 a gallon, but for up there it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. So it's still here. Everyone's still panicking. It's like when I came home earlier, the amount of people who were camping out at the petrol garages to try and get their fuel. I'm just like, for God's sake, there's plenty of fuel trucks that will be there in the morning to deliver it. Why the hell are you all camping there? It's like, you don't need fuel that bad. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how people freak out with certain little things. All you got to do is just be patient. Get. I didn't increase the amount of shopping that I do at any point during this. I've been still doing the same that I do normally. But
Yeah.
like if I want to go out and get like extra, I don't just go to the same store and get twice as much as I usually get. I go to that store, then I stop at another store on the way home, and I'll get half at one place, half at the other.
Yeah.
That emptying the shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Ripco says jumper is it? Yeah, it's a hoodie sweatshirt. It's like what I've got on now. Like I've got a jumper dress on, so I'm quite warm. So yeah, jumper is a hoodie sweatshirt, same thing.
It's like
Yeah.
1 or 2 in the morning over there, isn't it?
It's 1:10 in the morning. Yeah.
1:10. Yeah.
And it's currently 9 degrees. It's been thundering and raining solidly for like the last 3 days. It sucks.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed, like the one thing they've been short on in the stores for several months now is candy. Weird. It's like the candy aisle has just been beat up for a couple months. It's really beat up
Yeah.
right now because it's Halloween, but the candy's been real short. Potato chips are kind of in and out. Milk and eggs and bread kind of fluctuate. They have good days and bad days.
Yeah,
But
I only just managed to get candy delivered yesterday as part of my food shop. It's the first time in like a month and a half I was able to get any candy whatsoever. Everything's just been gone. Like bread as well. Bread's been a really hard thing to get because everyone's been buying like loaves for the shed load. Like this woman the other day when I went in the store to get a loaf of bread in my newspaper, this woman, no word or lie, she must have brought about 8 loaves. I'm thinking, do you really need 8 at one time? Really? Like,
said coffee went from $5.99 to $9.99.
whoa.
That's like an 80% jump.
Yeah,
80.
that is, yeah. And I think our coffee's bad. For a pot of coffee over here, you're paying probably around £4 or £5, but it's probably jumped since then because I don't really buy it. But I know my dad buys it. He always moans about how expensive it is.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm not a big coffee drinker either.
I don't drink really coffee and tea. I'm more of a hot chocolate person. If I do drink hot drink,
I used to drink a lot of coffee back when I smoked. I used to be a smoker, and man, having a cigarette and a cup of coffee, it wasn't nothing better than that, especially on a cold morning.
yeah, I've been brought up with people who smoke, and like my nan, she used to smoke devoutly, like every day. I'd see her, and the first thing she'd say is, she's like, I need my morning cigarette, I need my morning coffee. And I'm like, you don't need your cigarette. She's like, yes, I do. And she's been luckily given up now for like 12 years. But she always says to me, she's like, I could still have a morning cigarette, Gemma. I could start again. I'm like, no, do you want to end up having a heart attack and dying? She's like, no. I'm like, well, good. I don't want you to.
Tell you what, I was kind of shocked of one thing that I have not seen the price increase on, and that was rice. Like the 20-pound bag of
Yeah,
rice.
rice is very cheap.
It's been $8.48 for the last couple of years at Walmart, the 20-pound bags. Now they don't have as many of them as they used to, but I haven't seen the price go up on that. And I did see a little bit of an increase in sugar, but not much. And I figured sugar would go through the roof, but I haven't really seen it much.
Sugar's not been too bad here. Like, sugar's fairly common to get hold of, but when it comes to things like coffee, milk, the basic essentials that you need, we're pretty much struggling. Like, people are struggling to get hold of their coffee, their tea, laundry powder, things like that. That are everyday essential stuff. People are struggling to get it, or things I've noticed like bread. Like, I haven't been able to buy a loaf of bread in weeks.
Oh,
Every time
crap.
I've tried to get one, it's not there.
I forgot to do my 2,500 sub giveaway. I'm supposed to do it tonight. Crap, I'll do it tomorrow. That's tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show will be a 2,500 sub giveaway. And what I'm doing,
congratulations, Ghost.
thank you. What I'm doing is the seeds from my garden. I saved all my seeds.
Oh,
So
yes, of course you did. Yeah, I remember you talking about it. Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll just it'll be for subs and members, obviously. It'll be I'll do like pick a number between 1 and 50, and the first 3 people that get it, I'm gonna send the first 3 people that get it a packet of seeds.
Yay. That's awesome, guys. And by the way, if you like rabbits, bunny rabbits as I call them, please check out Ghost's videos. He has a lot of videos on his bunnies.
Oh, and another caveat to that giveaway too: if you live close enough to me, or if you just want to come drive and get it, I'll give away a meat rabbit as well because I got extra out there right now.
I love the bunny rabbit videos and the garden videos. They're so good. I'm like, every time I log onto your channel, I'm like, oh, there's a new garden video, and I sit there and watch it.
I've got okra, I've got cayenne pepper, bell pepper, banana pepper. I've got what else? Big Zack tomatoes. Now the Big Zack tomato seeds, if you order them online, they're expensive as crap. They're like $5 or $6, and you get like 15, 20 seeds. So I seeded it. And I know why they're so expensive, because for some reason the Big Zack just doesn't really produce that many seeds. At least the one I seeded didn't. But I've got that in there, and I've also saved about 70 or 80 seeds from that massive 20-something pound cantaloupe that I got from the lady off the side of the road.
Nice.
It was this cantaloupe was bigger than a basketball. It was massive, and it was delicious.
Nice.
Guys will be getting that. Also, I'm probably going to include some extra seeds out of one of my seed banks, because I've got like hundreds of thousands of seeds, and these things will go bad before I ever get to plant them. So I'll probably just throw in some extra packets of just random seeds, different lettuces and stuff from one of my seed banks.
Guys, see, check out this incredible knowledge, guys, because you're not going to get any of this knowledge anywhere else. Like, Ghost knows what he's on about, and he'll keep you up to date with things. And yeah, you need to be here to listen to him.
Garden seeds, G2, garden seeds. My rabbit pellets, man, I'm here to tell you this. I've got me a great big pile going on right now. So that's what I'm planting everything in come next year. So it's going to be well fertilized.
Yay.
So yeah, I've got plenty of the rabbit pellets. Plenty rabbit pellets. So I'm looking forward to that, because the okra, the cantaloupe, and the watermelon in my garden this year, that's all they grew in. There was no dirt.
That sounds yummy.
Prepper Tribe dared me to do it. He was like, well, if you think rabbit pellets are so good, then just plant something in just rabbit pellets. I'm like, okay. So I went and filled up a gallon bucket full of nothing but rabbit pellets. And there was some straw in there from underneath the cages. And I planted a couple of okra plants, watermelon and cantaloupe, and they absolutely blew up.
Yeah. Awesome. See, this is what happens when you get good information. Ghost knows what he's talking about. Trust me. Like, you'll have a really good time being part of his channel if you are new here. And yeah, he's a fun guy.
Well, boys and girls, unless anybody has another really good question for me. I'm probably going to go ahead and stick a fork in it because I have to get something to eat and get ready for
Yeah, you're going to be on Native's channel, aren't you? Yeah.
Native's panel here in a little bit. Hey, what's going on, radio? How you doing
Thank
tonight?
you for having me, Ghost.
Anytime, sweetheart. Anytime. Anytime. So anybody else got anything for me? Alternate prizes, rabbit pellets. Can you mail like rabbit? Can you mail feces through the mail? I mean, I guess you can. But
I guess if it's, I don't know.
I don't know. I have to look into that.
I know we can
But
mail seeds in the mail here, but
that would be like super expensive because the amount of rabbit pellets you're going to need to really do any kind of a good garden is going to be quite a bit.
yeah, I know we can mail certain seeds and things. We just have to declare them to make sure that we don't get in trouble. But yeah, we mail seeds and stuff.
All right. I want to thank Gemma for coming up here. I want to thank Off the Wall for coming up and hanging out. I want to thank everybody in the chat, all the subscribers, and all the members as well. I appreciate your support.
Have a good evening, guys.
Kicking at Homestead, $200 postage. Yeah, that sounds about right. So tomorrow night, same time, 7 p.m. I will do the 2,500 subscriber giveaway. I know it's kind of late because I'm over 2,700, but I hit 25 and then it dropped back to 24 and then it came back up. So I just wanted to kind of wait and make sure it stabilized a little bit. So tomorrow will be the 2,500.
Yes, just be here tomorrow for this amazing guy. This way.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. Chat. Thank you. And
thank you for having me, Ghost. I had a blast. Thank you for the guys being considerate in the chat. Have a great night, guys.
Anytime, sweetheart. So we will talk to you guys later, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. Bye.